Stay strong and get healthy. Stretch. Feel great about yourself and have some fun. It's time for you. Fitness is the key to your future. Don't get locked out. Take the challenge. Commit to be fit. Hi, I've got your back today on Commit to be Fit. I'm Susie Smith, and today we're here to talk about back pain and how to strengthen your core and how to get rid of that nagging back pain. So I brought my friend today, Christy Fennell. I'd like to introduce her.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Christy. Thanks for being on the show.
Sure.
Really appreciate it. Christy is a group fitness instructor, and she's brought back by popular demand. Everybody loves Christy Fennell. So we're just going to show you some moves to keep yourself in neutral, because if your abs are weak or your back is weak, it's going to, I want to demonstrate something here real quick before we get started. The reason you want your core to be strong and you want your abs and your back to be equally strong is because they hold your pelvis in place. So what happens if your back is really tight and your abs are weak, your pelvis starts to shift, like you're like this. And so that's what happens. And it can also shift the other way. So you're walking this way. Maybe your abs are stronger than your back, so your back is stretched out. So today we're going to try to bring that all together. We'll start with some strength moves, and then my doctor actually sent me some moves to bring in for stretching and for acute pain. So Christy Fennell, what do you have for us?
We're just going to warm up the upper body a little bit. We're going to do some reaches overhead. You're just going to reach your arm up.
Okay, I'm with you here. Okay.
Get the blood flowing in the upper body. You can do some reaches across. Get a stretch through the back a little bit.
Oh, that feels good.
You can always incorporate music to your workout. It always makes it more fun.
I have music going in my head right now.
Yeah, sing in your head too. That works.
This is good though. Get that back warmed up before.
So try to do like a 5-minute warm up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once you get there, you know, you can march in place. Get your arms pumping side to side.
Are you right or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Okay. We're looking good. But this is so important, that warm-up. You know, if you don't do the warm-up and then you start exercising, what happens? You know, you can pull something.
Yeah, you can easily pull something. It's a misconception that you stretch before you warm up, you know, before you start running or something. But you really should warm up first and then stretch after your workout.
I always say that too. Yeah. And I see that a lot. I see people going into, you know, a workout and they're not warmed up at all. This feels good. I was a little stiff this morning. Rode 20 miles on the bike yesterday in that heat. So I need this today.
Always need the good back stretch.
Mm-hmm. Feels good. And I think that's a lot of problem about the low back pain, is we're not stretched out. You know,
Yes.
We're just tight.
So after you get your warm up in, then you can move on and do like a lower exercise that's not too high impact. You know, start slow and then build up once your muscles are warm. So I'll let Susie introduce a move first that she wants to start with.
Okay, I wanted to start with posture before we do anything, because you need to know where your body needs to be before you go into the exercise. So make sure that you're not, you want to think about your pelvis being parallel to the wall in front of you. So you're not out here and you're not back here. And when you're in standing, you want to bring your shoulders up and take them down and just stand nice and tall. Suck your stomach in. That's going to do wonders for your abs. And so think about that. Even when we're in supine position, laying down on the floor, you're still going to think about keeping yourself in alignment. So I think I'll start with a standing move today, which is just an easy move, arms up, and exhale as you bring your elbow down to the opposite knee. So 1 and 2, 3, 4. Good. So what you're doing here, Christy is exhaling every time she comes down. Inhaling on the way up, exhaling down, and she's really crunching. Let's do 8 more. and exhale. This is working the obliques. Those are the love handles on the sides of your waist. We're squishing them out right now.
Feels good.
2 more?
2 more.
Okay, and bring it down. So these muscles inside your body, the rectus abdominis, the obliques, and your low back, those are all what they call corset muscles, and it pulls everything in. If you would just stay with crunches, like basic crunches on the floor, you wouldn't really work all of those internal muscles. So what do you got for us? We're going to start with these standing moves first. And standing works a lot more muscles because you have to actually stand up and work everything.
Well, you're standing. You can put your arms here and you can add a twist as you lift your knee and twist up.
Ah, good job. And a little twist in the middle. So every time Christy's doing this, she's exhaling as she crunches. So exhaling on the crunch. And notice how straight she's staying. Her body's in perfect position.
You don't have to lift your knee up really high, just so you keep good form on the move and you're breathing through.
Good job. That's a good one. I don't follow very well. You notice when you have 2 instructors together, and we've both been instructing for a long time, I'm going one way and Christy's going the other because we're used to teaching ourselves. But that's an excellent move. Another one while we're standing for the obliques, I like to come down into a lunge position. And when you're in lunge position, notice that your knee is directly over your ankle. You're not out here, and you're back here.
You open your chest.
Open the chest, take the shoulders back and down, and you can twist over the knee, come back to center. I usually twist over the front knee, and then come back, and breathe, and then twist, and breathe, and twist. And then you can change sides and take it down. And these are just suggestions. I want you to watch the show today and learn the form that we're doing. And that way you'll be able to come back to it after you talk with your doctor and see what your reason is for your low back pain. And do a couple more. 1 and 2. 1 more. Let's do 1 more. Good job. Okay. Wow.
From this position, you can also, if you like lean forward a little bit, make sure you keep your knee in line with your ankle.
Mm-hmm.
You could do like just squeezing your shoulder blades back together. If you reach out and squeeze.
Oh, just scapular retraction. Yes. And see what she's doing here is she's working the muscles in her back, but she's still stabilizing her stomach.
So your stomach is really tight and you're just pulling and exhaling as you pull back.
That's a good job. But all of these moves when you're standing are actually working your core. So you want to do a lot of standing work when you can.
Change legs in front and then just so you feel balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Just do the same.
I always change legs and do both sides. Sometimes I notice people, will just do on one side, but you want to keep your body balanced. Balance is the key to less pain. Because you're going to get pain, your hip flexors, if they're too tight, which is why we do lunges, and like Christy's doing now, we're stretching out a hip flexor, because if that's tight, then it pulls your low back, and pretty soon you're walking like this.
Yeah, I always think about pulling your chest out and pull your shoulders back, because you don't want to be like this all the time.
Yeah, and another thing that, keep that chin in. You don't want to be, your head gets in the room before you do, so you don't want to be out there like that. You want to keep it in. And so let's focus on some stuff on the floor. You want to? Or okay, now some people can't do on the floor, so these were some standing exercises that you can do. And standing gives you a lot more muscle action because everything is activated. But you can lie on your bed and do these next exercises if you have trouble with your back. But we're going to come down to the floor and just show you some basic back and ab workouts and core stuff. You ready for that? Okay, you want to go first? Maybe I'll try to modify what you're doing. What are you going to do first?
So I'm going to be on all fours.
Okay.
And we're gonna do a right arm extension with a left leg extension. So you're gonna be working your back.
Okay.
You're gonna just reach out and keep your head in line with your spine.
Now notice how she's reaching her arm out really far. She's making space all the way down through her body, and she's reaching through the toe of her shoe here. So she's pulling all of this apart. She's activating her abdominal muscles. Right now, you're sucking them up, aren't you?
Yes.
As hard as you can? Okay, and that's one of the best ways to work your abdominals is to just fight against gravity like Christy's doing right now.
So, you'll do about 8 counts on one side, and then you'll switch to the left arm and then the right leg. And you're breathing throughout. Do not hold your breath.
And you're reaching through the crown of your head. She's staying balanced. You want to stay like in a balanced tabletop position.
And try not to lift your head like this. You want to keep it down.
Because that crimps your cervical spine right there. I see a lot of people do that, Christy. So
you can just alternate.
Add some movement to it. That's a good move.
Exhale. Inhale.
A harder way to do this move would be on a ball, to try to balance with your belly on the ball, on a stability ball. But I would say start on the floor with these moves because...
yes, if you have a ball, you can try it. Once you get that down, then you can try it on the ball.
Let's see how that ball goes. The ball is a lot harder, I think.
So you balance yourself in the center, lift your arm first, and then get the leg up there.
See, you're really balanced. I can tell that because when most people get on the ball, you can find right away where your weak spots are because you'll start shaking and going off to one side. Christy's balanced, so she doesn't have that. But if you're not balanced, you've got muscles in here that are fighting. Your back and your hamstrings are in a constant battle. So if your hamstrings are tight, that also can cause back pain. I guess the main thing we're trying to tell you today is that you need to get up and start doing these exercises and building the muscles around the core of your body so that you can do moves like this.
You can stretch in between if you have a ball or not. You can press back to your heels and do a little stretch before you go on to your next move.
That's an excellent move. In yoga, that's called devotional or child's pose.
Or here.
I love that move because this really stretches your back and it takes all that tension out where you've had in there. Oh, thank you. That was great. I love that move. The opposite arm, opposite leg. It's so good for your balance too. And we lose balance as we age, so you want to keep up with that. Another one that I like with the ball, and I'll show you. I'm going to face the other way. But I don't know if you've done this one, Christy. It's called trapping the ball for abs. And you just take the ball on your belly, take your legs up and out. Now I'm going to crunch up as I exhale. I'm going to toss the ball up and catch it between my legs. And then I inhale, take my head back down, exhale, come up into a crunch and squeeze those legs and come back down. Back up. One more time.
This move also works your inner thighs as well, so you're getting a bonus workout.
Yeah, getting
where
that
you're doing the abs and the inner thighs.
Yeah. And doing that?
Yeah.
But that's a good move too. And we're just going to show you some moves today that you can pick from. And I like that, trapping the ball, because it really does get the inner thighs and the abdominals.
If you don't have a ball, which we'll show variations on the ball and on the floor, like another back move, you can come flat. Your arms come up over your head.
Superwoman.
And keep your head down, but you can lift your arms up and lower down.
That is an excellent move for the low back.
You don't have to lift really high.
And she's flexing her erector muscles in the low back.
If you can add your feet if you want. Exhale up, inhale down.
Good job. That's a good move.
You can do like 8 to 12 reps of those, and then you can bring your arms back here and do like flexion of the back up.
Is that called locust in yoga? I'm thinking that there's a yoga move similar to that that's really good for your back. She's squeezing her mid-back muscles together, and the low back is activated. So when you work your abs, you want to work your back because you're going front and back, and then when we twist, we're doing the sides. That's getting really deep inside the abdominals. And when you have a strong back and a strong core, which involves your glutes, your abs, your back, you're going to be pain-free because everything comes from the center of your body.
Now, if you have your arms here, if that's uncomfortable for you, you can always put your hands here. You can place them on your forehead, lift here.
Good idea.
Because sometimes people can't reach their arms all the way up. They have shoulder injuries or...
And it's all about modifications. If you need modifications, you can contact me anytime through BPTV. I have an email address. Or you can check with your doctor, like we said earlier, or your trainer if you're going to a gym and maybe they're doing too much and you can't keep up. Well, just, ask them, because I know you always give modifications. And let's see, how about just a back stretch, like a spinal stretch. We're going to sit up nice and tall and take a big inhale up. And as you exhale, I want you to pretend that your back is against the wall and you're just slowly peeling away from the wall as you exhale, and you'll come all the way down, and then maybe you can only come this far, and that's fine. It doesn't matter how far you come down, but just release the back, release the tension in your back, and come on back up. Good job. Inhale up, warm. You get warm?
Get more.
Exhale, and come on down. And I like to hold this, and one thing I like to say when I'm here is not to bounce. What bouncing does, and I see this all the time, it sets off what's called a stretch reflex. It's in your brain, and it's called the stretch reflex, and Christy can keep going. And it tells your body that actually when you're bouncing, it tightens up the muscles and it sends a signal to your brain that says you're getting ready for an injury because you're bouncing. So you have to kind of fake it out like Christy's doing. You just kind of fake out the muscle and you take it so slow that it just eases out. So you want to get that pain out of there. While we're here, what do you have?
Are we doing stretching?
Well, either stretching or abs.
Like the same with standing, like when we're doing the rotation. You can rotate here as well if you feel unstable when you're standing. You can rotate here, and that works your obliques.
So you try to keep your feet from shifting.
Yeah, don't want to shift your feet, like pull,
Yeah, so you're trying to keeping your butt bones like planted on the floor, so when Christy's shifting, her feet aren't going with her.
So you're exhaling through and center.
Your feet aren't moving at all. See how stable she is. Her feet aren't moving with her. So all the work's here, but once you start moving your feet, and you'll see people doing this, the work is out of your obliques and it's in the bottoms of your shoes, so we don't want that.
You can also, if your abs are strong, like if you feel like, you can roll back, and I reach my arms up, and I try to peel myself off the floor.
Those are good.
And then you reach. And try to come back to your neutral spine.
You look like you're sitting against a wall, and then she's taping herself down. That is an excellent move. I had a hard time doing that when I first learned that, because if you come down, you can go on down. Now Christy's going to fight her way up slowly so she doesn't jerk her way up, and you'll see the difference.
Try to avoid like pulling yourself up. You want to really control it with your abs.
Because if you hitch that, you can actually shear like a vertebra in there. If you are the type of person that hitches constantly coming up, it'll start to grind down in there. And these exercises and stretches we're doing today, they're not in any order. We're just having a play day today and just showing you that there are things that you can do. Just grab a friend and just do some moves. But definitely check with your doctor first and make sure why you're having back pain. But if you're like probably 80% of the people, I think your back pain comes from weakness of either your back or your abdominals. So we've got to keep that going. While we're here, I think I'll put one foot over and stretch out. Because you can always stretch in between your exercises. And you can take your arm over and exhale. And if this is too hard for you, all you need to do is just bring your leg up like this. You don't have to put it over. Here's a modification, and just, hug your knee and look off to the side. That way you're stretching the other side out, and then you're going to feel a lot better with everything stretched out. Okay, good job. What else do we have for abs? We'll do some another set of abs.
Well, you can use your ball.
Okay.
If you have a ball, you can stay on your knees here. Or
Oh, this is my
depending on
favorite.
whatever you are comfortable with as far as balance. So this is the more advanced position, but you can be here, your hands can be here. You're just going to lift and pull. So this works your lower back.
Mm-hmm.
And you exhale on your lift.
Now, I could do that standing with this chair, couldn't I?
Yes.
So if you're not familiar with the ball, guaranteed you're not going to feel comfortable on that ball for about a couple months. Everybody falls off the ball to begin with. So if you don't feel comfortable on the ball, grab onto a chair, bend over, and then come back up and just look up and arch your back. So there are ways. Christy did this move on the floor too. If you remember, she did this move on the floor. Now she's on the ball, adding more instability so that she's actually pulling in more muscles than she would be normally. So let me show you a couple moves that my doctor showed me that we should be doing for low back. Actually, I brought the paper with me today, and they're just a few moves, but I asked my family doctor, what should you do if you just hurt your back? So if your back is just hurt and you don't know, what's going on, for the acute stage, it's just lying on your back and bringing one knee in. So remember, your back's hurt, so you're not going to lay down without support. And all you're going to do, and again, if you need anything behind your neck, you can use that towel, and just bring that knee in. Now, you can lie on your bed and do this, but you really need to do it regularly. It's not just something that you can do and then stop doing and think that you'll feel better. And then if it hurts to have the other leg all the way out, you can keep one leg on the floor and just bring that leg in. And that really releases. When you get more advanced, you can bring both knees in. But if it's like right at the beginning of an injury, just bring one knee in at a time, and you're going to feel so much better with that. And the other one that he said that's really good is the bridge. Do you want to do the bridge, Christy? And I could point out
Are we doing this?
Mm-hmm. Okay, Christy's going to do the bridge. Now, my doctor said this is really good because it's strengthening the glutes and it's working that low back, and it's stretching. So you have to have strong hamstrings to balance everything out. You don't want to have tight hamstrings, but everything needs to work together, I guess is what I'm saying. If you have strong front of your body, but the back is weak, you've imbalanced your pelvis and everything's just out. So this is, and he recommends doing this 5 times, and just, you can relax in between, and maybe do 3 sets a day of this. And the last one is, well, no, there's actually 2 more that he recommends. And one is just, while you're there, is just when you exhale, you push your low back into the floor. So you don't lift at all.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not lifting at all. You're just pushing your low back, and then you release it. So you actually smash your back into the floor. Just push down and then release. So that's going to, what it does when you're working these muscles too, is brings nutrients to that area of your body that you need and blood flow. So that's also going to help take care of pain. And the last one he did ask me to do was one knee over center line. So if you stretch both legs out, straight out, and then just bring one leg up, one knee, and then try to keep your shoulders down while you, exactly. This is it right here. This is such a good move. And He highly recommends this. And when I do this move right here that Christy's doing, my shoulders are on the floor. You can see she's keeping her shoulders. She's kind of looking the opposite way to actually further that stretch. But do you ever feel your back pop when you do that? It actually pops your back when you do that, and it feels so good. And you just, that's perfect, just like that. And so you can do that on your bed. I would say the things to do, if you're just getting an injury, do the one knee at a time coming in, do the bridge that we just did, the lifting, and pushing the low back into the floor, and doing these twists. Does that feel good?
Feels good.
And when you come up, you want to come up safely, and let's finish up with...
I usually put my knees up and I put my hands behind my knees.
Mm-hmm.
You get yourself a little roll up and
That's an excellent way to come up.
just use your own momentum to come on up.
Now, how long have you been teaching group fitness?
About 13 years.
Yeah? Wow, that's a long time.
Long time.
Mm-hmm. You enjoy it?
I do.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell people about back and core
Well,
work?
you know, just make sure you're all stretched out. Yeah, I like to do, you know, I like to come forward and kind of like just hang down a little bit and let your back.
Forward bends are really good. That's where we're talking about the hamstrings are tight, and you want to loosen up those hamstrings. So you want to go forward, and you can feel that. Your low back pain is going to be tied in with your hamstrings. If your hamstrings are really tight, it's pulling back here. So once it pulls, then your pelvis goes out. So I guess that's about our message.
Okay, get your good stretch on. We can finish with the cat-cow.
Cat-cow?
Yeah.
Okay. Cat-cow's good. This is an excellent exercise from yoga, and you just get in tabletop position. Okay?
And just lift your back up.
Are you pulling your belly button to your spine?
Yes. Pull your belly button in, exhale out, then lift yourself up. Push your belly button to the floor, sway it out, then exhale through again.
And I'm going to come up to standing and show you that you can actually do this move standing if you maybe have a knee problem and you don't want to be on your knees. You're going to just fold forward, and then you're going to come up, and you're going to stretch this way. Because you want to keep the spine elongated and all the muscles stretched around it. Ah, that feels so good to come into that. I love that.
If you're in that position, you can come back here. This is what I typically do. Then I'll have people just roll back onto your feet just to get out of your position in a gentle way and just roll all the way up.
So you don't want to jump up. You want to articulate your spine.
Just open up your chest and take a deep breath. And your back will feel great for the rest of the summer.
Thanks for joining me today. You're great. You're
Great job,
Thank you.
Susie. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I've had so many people ask, when's Christy Fennell coming back on the show? So I had to grab her today and say, let's just get on and play. But before you do these exercises, I would just advise, like, checking with your doctor to make sure you don't, you know, if you're having really bad back pain, you want to obviously make sure you don't have a disc problem. But otherwise, just stay strong. And remember, take the challenge and commit to be fit.